Fala galera, aqui quem fala é o Turvans e a gente vai continuar a nossa gameplay de Alan Wake. A gente acabou de entrar no episódio 4, a Verdade, e acordamos aqui nesse quarto. Nós fomos tratados pelo Dr. Hartmann e ele pediu que nós o seguíssemos. Então, vamos lá. Pra cá uma máquina de escrever. Esse quarto parece o quarto do vídeo do primeiro vídeo de gameplay, quer dizer, que era onde eu tinha... Não. Tô confundindo, tem nada a ver.
This corridor is for patients. Most of them aren't here right now. Jack took them out for a fishing trip, except for the ones who are particularly vulnerable, of course. I encourage creativity as a part of the recovery process here at Cauldron Lake Lodge. I specialize in treating artists.
I bet you do.
Splendid, Alan. I honestly believe we can get this thing under control if we work together. This way, Alan.
Eu nem procurei se tinha alguma coisa, não olhei ao redor.
Now, Alan, from past experience with you, I know I need to get right into the heart of the matter as quickly as I can after an episode. So I'm just going to say this. Alice is dead.
No.
You're in a very vulnerable state until you understand and accept this. Alice drowned, and you couldn't face that. You're suffering from hallucinations, paranoid delusions, unusual thinking, an obsession about light and darkness, a feeling that everything revolves around you, your thoughts and dreams. Your mind has constructed an elaborate fantasy scenario in which your writings are affecting reality. She has been kidnapped and supernatural forces of darkness are trying to stop you. We go this way, Alan.
I wasn't ready for another shot, so I went along with it. He had to be lying. But under the influence of the drug he had given me, I had to fight not to believe his words.
It's all in your head. You've been making it up. Apart from the tragic accident with your wife, no one has been killed. Your delusions are just a manifestation of your subconscious mind trying to protect you from the too painful truth. Unless we fight the fantasy, it will return. I know the instinct is to resist me, but think about it. Doesn't this make far more sense than the insane supernatural conspiracy you have concocted in your mind? You're a skeptic by nature, Alan. We both know this. Everything can be explained logically.
Eu ia falar que isso explicaria muita coisa, faz total sentido, mas qual será a verdade realmente?
I never get tired of this view. Very inspiring, isn't it?
Cauldron Lake spread below us. I could see Mirror Peak on the other side of the lake. I thought I could make out the spot where Diver's Isle had been when I arrived with Alice. Now there was nothing but waves.
It seems there's a storm coming. Funny, I don't recall there being a mention of that in the weather forecast. Well, no matter. This way. Follow me. Alan, what I'm telling you is good news. Right now, we're in control. Every time you have a relapse, it gets more and more difficult to resurface from the dark depths of your imagination. Not surprising, considering your profession. Imagination is what you work with. After all your nightmares, this should come as an immense relief to you. If it doesn't, why is that? Because I'm lying? Or because you don't want to admit that you're not well? It's very natural for you to think of me as your enemy. It's part of the illness.
I let him talk. Hartmann obviously loved his own voice. His words echoed madly inside my head. I dug my nails into the palms of my hands to stay focused.
You need to work with me. Once you accept that, we can begin the journey towards your recovery.
O cara abre a porta como se ele estivesse arrombando
Let's go inside.
uma gazua. Cara ali estranho.
Here's the entrance to the office wing. That's for staff only. You were impressed by my trophies when you first arrived here. I do love to hunt. The great outdoors, man versus nature. It's wonderful stuff.
Pretty damn wonderful, yeah. Scary, scary, scary.
Emerson.
I'm a real bad dream, mister. You should be afraid of me. Don't want to run into me in the night, that's for sure.
Please, Emerson. Mr. Wake is confused enough as it is.
Yeah, you'd like me to go away so you won't be scared. But you can't just decide what kind of dream you have or when you have it.
Emerson.
Okay. Sorry. Ew.
That's Emerson. We're actually making some progress with him, I'm happy to say. He works on video
Elbow
games.
strike.
It's trash, of course, but it does involve
Get him
some
to the head.
small creative effort, which makes him receptive to my therapeutic methods.
No kidding.
Come, Alan, this way. Now, you might have noticed the typewriter in your room. You've been writing as a part of the therapy. As soon as you feel up to it, you should continue.
Temos aqui uma placa de Cauldron Lake. Bem-vindo a Cauldron Lake. Estamos aqui para te dar a ajuda especializada que você precisa. Embora, por favor, observe os seguintes. Observe o seguinte. Por favor, peça a amigos e família para agendar visitas antecipadamente para ter certeza que eles não vão interferir com sua terapia e ou os períodos de criatividade. Também, por favor, respeite os seus companheiros pacientes, a necessidade de privacidade dos seus companheiros pacientes e o espaço pessoal, especialmente quando eles estiverem engajados em suas atividades, em seus processos criativos. Seja paciente, tipicamente nossos pacientes têm um problema de criatividade de longo prazo, eles não serão solucionados do dia para a noite. Dê a si mesmo permissão para... Ok, leve o tempo que você precisar. E tenha em mente que você está recebendo um tratamento voluntário que foi especificamente projetado para você, a terapia de engajamento e a sua irmã, o seu método irmão, o flow, funcionam melhor quando você está engajado ativamente em fazê-los corretamente, talvez. Se você tiver problemas, por favor, não hesite em dar voz a eles. O cara entrou aqui, né?
My rheumatism's killing me.
Olha
There's
só.
a storm coming. Oh, what a storm.
I hope it wipes this place off the face of the earth.
And these two are the Anderson brothers, Odin and Thor. They had how should I put this? A heavy metal band in the 70s and 80s called Old Gods of Asgard. They even adopted new first names to complete the image of Viking gods. After the band broke up, they lived on a farm nearby. They are, well, in advanced stages of dementia. They're well cared for, TLC and all that. There's nothing more that can be done. I'm afraid that the rock and roll lifestyle has left its mark.
Oh, that won't do. I'm so sorry to cut this short for now, Alan. The power has been acting up. I'd better go check on it. We'll continue this soon. Meanwhile, when you feel up to it, return to your room and try to write. It really is for the best. Don't you think?
I'd like to bash his head in with a hammer.
Oh, he'd love to fish out our secrets, but he has no clue. He's not crazy enough. Not crazy like us, Sonny.
Yeah!
Being crazy's a requirement, Sonny. Who else could understand the world when it's like this? It takes crazy to know crazy.
That's the sanest thing I've heard in a while.
Say, you're all right, Tom. Hey, we like him, don't we, bro? He's got to go to the farm.
The Anderson Farm. Valhalla!
We wrote it all down, lest we'd forget. A crash course. All you need to know to get your head right. You need to find the message.
Here, Sonny, here's something for you. Gave me a rash, but I kept it safe from these bastards.
My head was clearing up, or according to Hartmann, I was sinking back into the fantasy. I was convinced he was lying to me about everything. Crazy or not, the Andersons made more sense.
Tom, got any booze on you?
Yeah, no.
We
Sorry,
have a
guys.
stash of the special stuff at the farm. Our own formula. Local ingredients. Medicine clears your head right up. Makes you remember like moonbeams on the brain.
Oh, I just noticed. Leather patches on the elbows? That's not very rock and roll.
Tom just lost is all. Baba Yaga got to him too, the damn witch.
She used us all. Taken from all of us. Took my thunder, the witch.
And my ravens, what were they? Memory and thought, the hag.
She took something from you too, didn't she? That's what she does.
We're better off. This place, the lake, it gives you power. If you're a creator, an artist, a god.
Nightmare shifted in their sleep in the darkness of the lake.
Yeah, that's the one. She makes sure it comes out twisted and raw. Just ask the lamp lady. She knows what happened to that other rider.
She's been using you, boy, and you let her. You went and opened the door for her, didn't you?
Now, it was already open a crack. And whose fault is that? We're morally corrupt, disease-ridden, old and stupid.
Doesn't mean he had to open it all the way, goddammit.
Diálogo muito interessante.
So tired. Built the farm close to the lake. A place of power.
Eles estão chamando a gente de Tom.
Party there, man. You should go there and have a party.
Lembrando que Thomas Zane é um outro escritor que nunca foi encontrado. Então, muito interessante que eles chamem a gente assim. Staff, não posso entrar em lugar nenhum, né? Tem que retornar mesmo pro meu quarto. Mas mesmo assim eu vou investigar aqui. Vai ter gente encontra um colecionável, alguma coisa. Esse cara quem é?
Oh, hello. I've painted you.
Okay.
I was just struck by inspiration a couple of days ago. Dr. Hartmann wanted me to paint landscapes, and that's what I was doing. But now I've been doing these things, a lot of them. The images just keep coming. Dr. Hartmann likes them. He has them in his office.
Yeah?
He's very proud of me. He says I'm getting much better. I think I'm getting better.
Ok.
Well, I guess I better start wrapping this up.
Não posso realmente entrar em lugar nenhum. Vou direto pro meu quarto mesmo. Cara, o cara virou a cadeira.
Hey, wait. Why don't you humor Dr. Hartmann and give the writing a shot, huh? Typewriter's in your room. You can get to your room by those stairs, Wake.
É estranho, porque eu não lembro de ter, eu lembro de ter vindo por essa porta aqui. A não ser que aquele quarto que eu acordei não fosse o nosso. Ah não, eu desci. Não, eu subi uma escada, eu não desci.
Something's wrong. I'm not myself. It's hard to think. There's a shadow inside my head. I can only focus on writing. Everything else is a blur. I'm trapped in this cabin. Have been for days, but it's always dark outside. My editor is real. I saw her again. She's not human. It's not human. A dark presence is wearing the old woman's face. She was covered in clinging shadows. There's a hole in her chest where her heart should be. I think I've made a horrible mistake. I don't think I'm any closer to saving Alice. It's been lying to me, using me to get the story it wants, and the story will come true.
Louco, mano. Eu não tenho nada comigo.
Hartmann had mentioned that the power had been acting up. Maybe that was the reason for the generator and the work light on the balcony. The generator hadn't been activated, and there was no key.
Uma garrafa lá.
Hartmann wanted me to write. I knew I couldn't, but I figured I should just play along for now. It was the only thing I could do with Nurse Birch watching me like a hawk.
Ah, deixa eu ver o papel que o cara deu pra gente.
Zane could feel the poems, taking form, shaping things. As he experimented, he imagined he could almost feel the power surging through the keys of the typewriter. It exhilarated him. But there was fear, too. If not for his young assistant, Emil, he would have given it up. But Emil convinced him otherwise. He, too, had a way with words.
Beleza. Aqui é o nosso nome aqui. Aqui é o do Emerson, aquele doido lá embaixo. Opa! Temos um jogo de Xbox 360 Night Springs. Olha só isso! E temos um Xbox 360 bem aqui. Então o Emerson está trabalhando num jogo de videogame, ou está jogando videogame. E esse videogame é justamente o que a gente tem assistido, aqueles vídeos estranhos que a gente tem assistido. Vamos aqui, Lane, posso entrar também, mas não tem nada. Deixa eu ver de quem é esse. The Soul, não posso entrar, também não. Então vamos pro meu.
The white glare of the blank page in front of me hurt my eyes. My hands began to shake uncontrollably.
Everybody, calm down. Put that down. Bert, I need help.
Hey, Wake, you stay here. I'm gonna go see what's up. You just keep doing what you're doing. Be cool, okay?
Chaos was all about, but it could be my only chance of getting out of here.
Let's see.
Here's a friendly poke from Mjolnir, wench. Oh, afraid of the crazy brothers, are ya? Not so weak now, are we?
Hartmann kept talking, giving Barry the grand tour, clearly proud of the place. He went on and on about his hunting trophies, and Barry was impressed. But he was here on business. He raised his voice, cut through the monologue. Hey, Hartmann, where's Al? Hartmann stopped in mid-sentence, annoyed at the interruption. He nodded at the hulking orderly standing nearby. The man smiled and clapped a practiced hand on Barry's shoulder.
Well, things are unraveling fast, aren't they?
Sinclair looked bad. That wasn't a love town. The crazy old farm hit her hard. If she was one of Hartmann's goons, she had it coming. I could get the key to the office wing from Sinclair. I had to get to Hartmann's office. He had taken all my manuscript pages. That's where he'd been keeping them.
Maybe you could come out and beat our wrinkled adult diapered asses
The markings on the tape said they were recordings Hartmann had made at the sessions with his patients. I saw Alice's name on one of them. For a moment, I couldn't breathe right.
Now, Mrs. Wake, can you tell me about Alan's problems?
He's more and more out of control all the time. The parties, he's so angry all the time. He's getting violent.
Do you mean with you?
No, not with me. No, never. Sometimes I almost wish Alan would take a swing at me, because at least that lead to a conversation he couldn't just march out of. But no. Alan doesn't really sleep. And the work, well, he's not writing at all. He sits there for hours and just gets more and more frustrated. And I can't talk to him.
Yes. Tell me, Mrs. Wake, what would you say to him if he'd listen?
I don't know. I want to say, I look at you, and it's not you. Just some stranger who resembles you. Looking out from behind your eyes. And I don't like that guy much. And now it's all gonna go to hell.
But you don't ever say this.
No. I've tried, but he's not listening. He's too deep in his own problems, always going on about something else. I'm so afraid I'm gonna lose him, and we're not even talking anymore. He doesn't let me in anymore. He just keeps me in the dark. I'm so alone here, even when he's home. Please help me, Doctor, because I'm at my wit's end.
Well, if you can just get him here, I'll absolutely do my very best.
Yeah, but Doctor, you need to be careful with him. He's not just going to listen to you and cooperate. He's the most stubborn man I've ever met.
Well, I'll be sure to bear that in mind.
Hearing her voice, what she was saying made me happy and sick and guilty all at once. Worst of all, I recognized the words. The phone call from her. It had been a cut-up of this. Just a recording.
Beleza, mais manuscrito.
Hartmann wasn't happy. Maud could see it in his eyes. He quickly lowered his own. He had made a mess of it, and he knew it. The shame of failure was hard to bear. He hadn't expected Wake to say he needed more time. And he blurted out 2 days. Less than Wake had asked for to show him who was in charge. But that wasn't part of Hartmann's plan.
Tá. Nossa missão é salvar o Barry. Deixa eu examinar
The
aqui.
photo on the wall caught my attention. In it, the clinic staff was standing outside the lodge. I knew the man next to Hartmann. He was the kidnapper. Hartmann had been playing me all along.
Ok.
Barry?
Ow! About time!
Barry! Man, I'm glad to see you. We need to get to Hartmann's office.
It's right next door.
You okay?
Yeah. I mean, no! The cops found me at Rose's trailer, but they didn't hassle me too much. I'm obviously a victim in this, and I demanded to be treated as such. Or else I'd sue their asses. Speaking of asses, that vet gave me a real hard time, but I had no clue where you were. That guy's crazy out. But he let me go, and then I get a call from Hartmann, that son of a bitch, who tells me you're here, and I should come pick you up, but when I got here, 2 goons clobbered me and stuck me in there.
What's with the cutout?
I stole it from the diner to piss off Rose after what she did to us. That'll teach her.
Yeah, that's a harsh punishment. Come on, pal, we gotta get going.
Tá, vamos ver se tem mais alguma coisa ali. Peguei uma garrafa. Não. Então vamos lá.
These were all the pages I had on me. And more.
Alan, please. You're sliding back to the...
Tell me one more lie and I'll shoot you in the face.
Ah, well, it was worth a shot. Really, Wake, come on. Let's work together on this. You have no idea...
Hartmann, shut up! Barry, get out of here. I'll catch up with you. Get a car.
Oh, Al, Now, let's just...
Go! Wait, listen to me. This is a mistake. Don't you see? Together we can create something absolutely wonderful. With your ability and mine.
Hartmann followed the fall of Alan Wake with his binoculars. When the rider hit the water, he ordered Jack to take the boat to him. The spot was easy to see in the dark, even with all the extra lights in the boat. The flare floated and kept burning even in the water. Jack turned the radio louder as the engine sputtered. The music was rough and clanking, something the Anderson brothers would no doubt have enjoyed. But Hartmann chose to ignore it. Wake was finally within his reach.
Ok. Tá, vamos ter que encontrar um jeito de sair daqui. Parece que o Alan jogou o médico para a escuridão. Pra ficar melhor. Abre. Que isso, cara? Oh, merda.
I needed light to get the possessed bookshelves out of my way.
Que isso aqui? Como é que eu faço pra ter luz? Tem uma lanterna aqui, pô. Ah, lá em cima. Lá em cima tem o gerador. Vamos lá. Desculpa essa olhada pro lado, galera. Chegou uma encomenda aqui que eu tinha pedido. Agora eu consigo passar aqui. Droga. Vamos fechar daqui. Ah, beleza. Consegui.
Hartmann knew he was no creator. He had no ambitions on that front, and he certainly didn't want to end up like every artist he had worked with here, damaged in ways that were hard to describe, or worse. It was enough for Hartmann to maintain creative control and provide direction, to be a producer. That was what most of these people were in need of anyway. Of course, suitable subjects were few and far in between.
Se eu conseguir fazer aquela coisa atravessar a porta, beleza, bora. Putz, tá, vem. Ficou preso? minha direção, vem aqui. Beleza. Tomei uma pancadinha, mas consegui.
I found the car, but the gate's locked. You're gonna have to go through the hedge maze over there.
Barry, I don't have a light.
Take this, Al. Oh, God! Look at the house, Al!
Olha que maneiro. Eita, não vi. Peraí. Onde estava o outro? Ali. Acertou ainda. Tem mais. Deixa eu carregar a bateria primeiro. Tem mais um ali. Beleza, parece que tá tudo bem agora. Rapaz, achei que o banco tinha mexido. Vambora. Beleza. Não posso passar por aqui. Sinalizadores, pilha. Excelente. Olha, eu contei 4 pilhas no pacote, hein? Só veio 2. Tá, vamos tentar atravessar aqui. Que isso? Um tipo de labirinto? Posso escutar eles. Mais bateria, mais pilha. Deixa eu ver. Pra cá não. Tá, parece que eu tô encontrando o caminho e o labirinto não parece ser muito difícil não. Eu vou voltar aqui no outro caminho que eu não fui, porque vai que tem alguma coisa legal pra gente encontrar. Não tem nada, foi à toa, então vamos voltar pro caminho normal. Corre aqui. Ah, eu matei o cara ali. Então deve ser pra cá. Onde aparece inimigo é o caminho certo. Tá achando pra me pegar de surpresa, né? Opa. Não confie no Emil. Ok, eu acho que eu nem encontrei ele ainda, né? Mas a gente não pode confiar nele. Anotado. Mais uma página.
I stared at the Viking paraphernalia that littered the area, surrounding an unlikely centerpiece. A full-size stage complete with an impressive sound system with all the trimmings, including a dragon. It took a special kind of crazy to build something like this in a remote field. When the sky split open with a deafening boom and the music started blasting, it felt strangely appropriate.
Ok. Ah, mais alguma coisa pra cá? Parece que a escuridão tá mais próxima, hein, ó. A luz da lanterna já não tá mais fazendo tanto efeito. O cara não tem nada. O cara tá ativo já. Beleza. Pra cá. isso. Deixa eu recarregar aqui que eu dei mole. Pra cá nada. Vamos pra cá então. Opa, mais uma página.
Hartmann hurried down the corridor. He had disliked leaving Wake when he was surely at his most susceptible to therapy. But this was not an ordinary storm. Wake had been writing, and he had woken something up in the depths of the lake. Now, it was coming for him. Hartmann had naturally prepared for a situation like this. The idiot brothers would keep Wake distracted while Hartmann double-checked everything, just to be sure.
Beleza. Vou voltar lá pro caminho. Não. Tô ouvindo a voz do Emerson? Onde ele tá? Tem uma coisa aqui. Ah, munição, muito bom. Eu jurei que tinha escutado a voz do Emerson. Pra cá, talvez? Não, não tem nada aqui. Olha a quantidade de corvos voando. Caraca. Mais um ataque daqueles. Aham. É sério, Emerson. Porra, cara. Tu era doido, mas tu trabalhava com videogame, cara. Ainda tinha uma esperança pra você. Não é o Emerson. Consegui eliminar um pouquinho. O problema é que eu não tenho mais... Ah, aqui. Não tenho mais. Interessante. Uma garrafa de café. Ah, se foram. Eu não precisava eliminar todos, só... Olha só, tava no chão. Eu podia ter desviado do cara e dado um tiro, mas, bom, é ótimo que eu economizei um tiro de sinalizador. Caraca, maluco. Não era o Emerson, eu falei Emerson, não era o Emerson. Vamos ver o que temos pra cá. Uma escopeta. Essa é aquela de 2 tiros só, né? Poxa. Uma página do manuscrito.
Mott knew that Wake was smarter than him. Wake had more money, a beautiful wife, everything. And Hartmann said Wake was important. That made him better than Mott. But Mott was calling the shots now. He'd expected Wake to whimper and grovel, but instead, he seemed willing to fight. Mott knew he'd gotten under Wake's skin. If only Mott actually had his wife. The thought made him shiver.
Beleza. Temos aqui um portão. Chegamos à luz. Isso é ótimo. Vamos atravessar aqui. A gente tem que atravessar o jardim. Caraca, maluco. consegui. Eu imaginei que eu conseguisse usar só um tiro pros dois. Beleza, parecia fraco mesmo. Tô começando a pegar o jeito. Lá já no vídeo 10, tô começando a pegar o jeito. Pra cá. Opa, sinalizador. Aqui nada. Tá, vamos seguir por ali. Eu acho que foi um exagero usar o sinalizador, viu? Tá, mas eu tenho ali um ponto de emergência. Temos aqui uma mensagem. Emil fez o Tom fazer aquilo. Beleza, munição. Galera, 40 minutinhos de gameplay. Vou fazer o seguinte, eu sei que a gente está no meio do jardim, que a gente tem que terminar de atravessar ele, mas eu vou encerrar a gameplay por aqui. A gameplay foi de uma parada super plana, uma conversa aqui, história dali, para muita ação aqui no jardim desse centro de tratamento. Gostei pra caramba, espero que vocês tenham gostado também. E a gente se vê no próximo vídeo. Curtam bastante, joguem bastante e até lá. Tchau, tchau.